Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to All Things Nerdy with Nate and Joe. I'm Nate. That's Joe. Today, we're going to be talking about, or I guess continuing our conversation of My Hero and Demon Slayer. We have kind of pivoted away from what we were doing into kind of month-long intervals to allow the people who have interest in what we're talking about more than just that one episode. So this month, we're going to be talking about anime with a focus on My Hero and Demon Slayer, which if you know about anime, you know that it, are the new hottest things right now. They're coming back for season 7 and then season 4 or whatever. So that's what we're talking about. Joe?
Yep, super excited. I know last week we were like, we're going to talk about Demon Slayer and My Hero, and we talked about My Hero for like the majority of the time and spent like 2 minutes on Demon Slayer. So we're going to try to do the opposite of that. We're going to touch on My Hero, is the latest episode, and then kind of talk through Demon Slayer so far, which I think is 4 episodes so far. So without further ado, Nate, let's talk nerdy.
Yeah, let's do it. Also, warning, there will be spoilers. We will mention it over and over and over again. There will be spoilers, right? We try not to just like blast them out like, oh my God, this exact thing happens. But talking about the show, we will get into it. So, Joe, let's touch on My Hero. What did you think about this last episode?
So the last episode, again, it's a step away from how the first 2 started off. So it's a little bit slower, but it was like that build up. And then just the ending had me like, no, why did it just end? Like, oh my God, like that's where you choose to end? I have to wait a week now to see what's about to happen? Like, dude, can't believe they did that to us. Like, bro, specific spoilers, but like just the both sides, like getting like this is like the point before the apex of this season. Like it has to be, right? Like the next episode it's about to go down.
I mean, there's no way it doesn't, right? So My Hero is just fucking absolutely eating right now, right? Like if there is something you want to clone and like replicate, it is this season of My Hero, because it caught you, right? Episode 1, episode 2. Now, granted, all the foundation, everything was already laid and stuff like that previous seasons, but episode 1, episode 2, balls to the wall, just excitement, battling, craziness, like feelings and like so much. And there's been a little bit of a lull, right? Like it's been character building, plot thickening, all these things. And then this last episode, you're like, okay, Yoriyama's still here, like it's still going on. And then you see it, and at first you're like, oh, you bitch. But then you realize, and you're like, see, dude, next
like
episode.
They tricked everybody. Like they tricked us about the trick, which I was just like, what the heck? Is he really about to turn on him for real? Like in the final moment, like this is about to happen.
No, I was like, I knew you were a bitch. I knew it.
I knew you were just a rat that shoots a beam out of his belly. But then he was like, huh. And then it leaves me wondering, like, because One For All has that power, like he can detect deceit or ill will. So I'm just like, how did they do it? Like, why am I blanking on the name? He lost his leg, he lost an eye, he has the bandages that wrap around. Azawa, yeah.
The
Eraserhead. Yeah. So Eraserhead set this plan in motion. I know it's all his doing. He's a BA. Like, I'm just like, how did they do it? Like, so I hope they go back and touch on that. Like, go back and like do a little flashback of just Eraserhead, like setting the foundation and laying the planning. Which, I guess I do want that to happen. But how mad would you be if the next episode that's how it starts? It goes back and it's Ozawa going through laying the plan instead of like the clash that is about to happen that they literally set up right before the end of the episode.
The first thing I would think is like, this is the most traditional anime bullshit. Like they will put you on the edge of your seat. You're like, oh, this is about to get crazy. And flashback. And then flashback of flashbacks, right? Like just Naruto 2.0. Just shit within 2.0, just, oh my God, just come on. Let us get to the good stuff. But even then, like, I do want to know, right? Because All For One has the ability, like you said, malice, ill will, all that. So how did they remove that from Yoriyama, right? Like,
and his parents.
So I think what it was is he probably really doesn't have ill will or malice towards All For One, right? It's just the love for his friends and the friendship and doing right by them is stronger. Like in his eyes, like he's doing what he's asked, right? Like All For One said, you need to do this. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. And it's going to benefit them. So maybe that's it. But either way, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be a solid episode. I cannot wait for it to drop. I'm so excited. It is going to be amazing.
Yeah. And we know that like whatever scheme it had to be, we know it's going to be insane because just Eraserhead, like he cemented himself in my mind as probably one of the most badass characters on the show when like he got shot with that bullet like that was going to take his power away, right? And he just reaches down and chopped his leg off. Just and kept his eye, like didn't even flinch, like kept his eye like on the bad guy and just cut the leg right off. I was like, wow.
Yep. And dude, he's a tactician. He's a strategist too. Like he's the teacher, he's the sensei. Like he has put them in a lot of positions to succeed. Now pure strength throughout My Hero, like just pure skill has been a big theme. A lot of it is we're in bad spots. We just got to be better and stuff like that. But if you look at the spots where Aizawa has really shined, a lot of it has been with his plan or the little rat's plan, right? The dean. And stuff like that, but he is a tactician. He's able to follow a plan to a T, put things together. So I'm excited to see what it is. And it's not going to be just like all the students just pop right there, right? And I know there were some other like teachers and stuff like showing up at the end of the episode, but
there were other heroes, teachers, the other classes. I think I saw a few from the other classes. So
you know what it kind of felt like in game. Avengers Assemble, dude,
that's exactly that's copy and paste.
Yep,
that's
that
copy
is what
and paste what
like.
happened.
Yep, 100%. I was like emotional a little bit, like, oh my god, let's go. And you see the other side, you're like, oh fuck, it's getting real. So getting hype. Okay, so 3 more. We can do like 3 more minutes on this and then pivot to Demon Slayer. Although I will say, not as excited to talk about Demon Slayer as I thought I would be. So definitely more hyped about My Hero right now than Demon Slayer.
Yeah, and I would agree. Like this season of My Hero has been way more just like hype and action packed than Demon Slayer. I feel good about Demon Slayer, the episodes that are coming up. But just so far, if you compare episode to episode, just like, hey, we're 4 episodes deep into both shows, which I know My Hero is like an episode ahead, but still like about the same amount of airtime for both shows. Like I see myself looking forward to My Hero a lot more than Demon Slayer for sure. Not that it's bad. Demon Slayer's been really good. It just when you compare the two, it's not even a comparison. It's like, I'm going to watch My Hero.
Yeah, I watched My Hero the day it was released. I watched Demon Slayer yesterday or 2 days ago. Just hadn't really gotten around to it. Like my wife and I watched Demon Slayer together because she enjoys it. And we like previous arcs, like the Tengen arc, right? The Entertainment District, like that. We really like watching. But this one, we're just like, we'll get to it. A big part of it is like, hey, I have a podcast coming up. If it wasn't for this podcast, I probably wouldn't even probably would have just stacked a couple episodes and then watched them.
Yeah, podcast keeping your anime game on point.
Well, but I usually don't mix anime, and this has kind of been my like first real experience like mixing because I finished Samurai Champloo, I have Demon Slayer, I have My Hero. So like my brain for anime, and my wife and I are also watching Haikyuu, so like we're all over the place now.
Oh yeah, and I'm the same way. Like I like to finish one before I start the other, and this has really been like, all right, I'm watching this. I watched this. I just finished up One Punch Man. I'm gonna start Samurai Champloo this weekend and see how I like that since you said it was so good. So, but yeah, like getting kind of like keeping stuff straight in my head. Like I'm forgetting people's names. Like I was like, how do I forget Eraserhead? Yeah. But definitely, I agree with you. Like if it wasn't for this podcast, I probably would have waited for Demon Slayer to stack up a few episodes for sure. I actually watched it like early this morning before I was like, oh, I gotta watch Demon Slayer. I haven't watched that yet. And I watched My Hero the day it came out. I was like, no, I'm watching it right now. And again, I watched My Hero again. Like they set it up perfectly to make me like, I'm watching that.
Dude, the second it drops. Yeah. And for our listeners, we have like an anime text group, And like, like when something's good, like one of our buddies would be like, bro, my hero's going crazy right now. We're like, oh shit, we gotta watch it, But there's been no such text for Demon Slayer currently.
Yeah, just more of like, hey, what do you think about Demon Slayer? It's okay. But getting into Demon Slayer a little bit though. So I mean, it's a lot of setup, right? Like it seems like it's a lull, like they're going through training. One, Tanjiro they had to build it in, right? Tanjiro just got his butt kicked for like the 17th time, like by an upper ranked demon. Like he can't just bounce back from that. They had to build in some like he's a human, he has to recover, that kind of stuff. Which I was like, all right, I get it. It keeps him human, keeps him like where he's not just now I'm fully recovered. I get that, but I guess what do you think about their timeline so far? Like, I mean, it took 2 episodes for him to even start training, right?
So this arc is called the Hashira training arc, right? So I assume it's going to focus a lot on really helping you understand what makes a Hashira and the difference between a Hashira and someone of just the demon core, which is doing a really good job of. Because as of now, you have someone like Tanjiro who has helped defeat multiple high-ranking demons, right? But he's not a Hashira. So really, you have a blended idea. Okay, well, Hashiras are strong. They're like the strongest of the strong, but like the demon core is like really powerful. So I think they needed to do this to properly give you a scale of power between the traditional demon core and the Hashiras, right? So like it's needed. But the 2 episodes of Tanjiro kind of recovering, them setting this up, right? Like I get all that. But the Tengen arc or the Tengen training was really cool. Now I'm biased because I love Tengen. If you've watched any of our anime episodes, you know that I'm freaking pro Tengen. He is amazing. So I really enjoyed that. But like he went from Tengen to Tokito, right? Which is cool. But like even then, like you didn't see a lot between like Tanjiro and Tokito. You saw Tokito beating up the other demon cores, which I think leads to the point that they're trying to showcase the difference between Hashira and normal traditional demon core people.
Yeah, and I feel like they're also setting up like the difference between Tanjiro and the demon core people, because like the most recent episode, like he was like, I've only been here for 5 days. What do you mean I have to move on? But he's like, you've learned everything I have to teach you. And then the other demon's like, we've been here for 2 weeks. Can we leave? And he was like, no, you're nowhere near ready. Like, he's just like, get back to work. We got a comment from what cartoon are y'all talking about? JK. Yeah, we're actually talking about JK Jujutsu Kaisen. You nailed it right there, McCroy.
First off, McCroy, let me just say you are a prime example of somebody that would love these shows if you just gave them a chance, but because they're animated, you just won't. But dude, if you sat down and watched Jujutsu Kaisen with me, you would be like, this is so good. But you won't do it. But yeah, we love you too, buddy.
And I will say in Demon Slayer, the first episode, when they had Zenitsu come back and talk to why am I blanking on his sister's name now?
Nezuko.
Right, and he's like, say Zenitsu, say Zenitsu, and she's like, Inosuke. I was like, oh, and he's like, his heart was all broken because she called him the wrong name. I was like, all right, that's pretty comedic. That's really good. Brandon McCoy says guilty. Yeah, just sit down and watch it. Like, just do it, man.
Dude, just give one a chance. Let me suggest one and give it a shot. And if you hate it, you hate it, right? But you won't. Brandon, you watch Vinland Saga. Like, bro, Vikings, Thorkel, like season 1 Vinland Saga is so amazing and it's good. West, I have a different one for you.
Yeah. Joshua West says, I need to get into anime. You do. You guys need to get into it. Start watching it.
West,
this is which one?
I think you would really, really like Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, for real. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen. Brandon, you would like it too. Jujutsu Kaisen is just so good.
Yeah. but
so Demon Slayer, right? Like, I'm excited to see where it goes. The thing about Demon Slayer is it's kind of rinse and repeated a lot of the series, right? They start a little slow, it's building, it's groundwork, and then the last like 6-7 episodes are these beautiful animations that are just like what they're able to do is so good. The fights are beautifully done. So like my biggest issue with watching Demon Slayer dubbed is that I have to read versus just appreciating the art.
Yeah, yeah, and you could. I guess if we weren't doing this podcast, we could wait till it's a dub. But I've definitely been watching it subbed. Joshua has another question. It says, "How do we watch these shows?"
Ooh, so Demon Slayer is on Netflix. The one we're talking about now, the newest season is not out, but the Entertainment District is, and it's the best one anyway, so that's all that matters. And then I think Jujutsu Kaisen season 1 is actually on Netflix as well. But if you want to get to like the newest seasons, then Crunchyroll is the place to go.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Nicole says, I've been watching without me. Hold up. Look, I watch it subbed so we can talk about it on here, and then we're going to go back when the season is fully completed and watch it dubbed, because we did watch the first episode together, but she does not like that Tandra's voice does not match, and it's not the same character's voice, right? Like, and that makes sense, right? So we got to wait till it all comes out so we can watch it together in the dub version. So
Nicole, I'm as shocked as you. I watch it with my wife still. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Nate, why are you going to throw me under the bus like that, man? I'm just doing it for research purposes, okay? Nicole says, sounds like baloney to me. Excuses. Oh, man. But it's going to be a lot better when we can watch it all through in dub for sure.
Yeah, because I do think so. I'm a big fan of sub. I watch a lot of them in sub, but Demon Slayer is one that dub is, I think, the better way to go, because you can just, well, if you're a native English speaker, right? If you're not, then do whatever. But if you're a native English speaker, then Demon Slayer dubbed is because you can appreciate the art that's behind it.
Yep. And we got a comment. Look at this. Our first comment from YouTube. Someone watching from Fritz is on YouTube watching it for us. Says I'll watch it with my wife as well. Look, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, what's up, Fritz? I hope you're doing all right, man. So appreciate you checking us out on YouTube. I think our first YouTube comment. So that's awesome.
Yep, it's pretty cool. And then so when it comes to Demon Slayer, though, like I do like what they're doing with Tanjiro, showing that how like his impact on the people, right? So both different training arcs that like he's been through so far, like he's made a difference. Like his presence has made a difference in in the training core that's there. Like at the end of the last episode, the like what they did at the end, right? Or they came together, stopped training for a second, and did that exercise together. I don't want to say it for like spoiler alert kind of thing, but yeah, what do you think about that?
So he is the MC, so he's got to make an impact, right? But I think the way he's making impact, there's so many layers to it. Not only is he just like out here beating demon ass, right? And I think their fights are really well done because it's a balance. It's not like, One Punch Man where he's just out here, consecutive normal punches and getting dubs, which is hilarious for, anime. But anyways, like, I think it's awesome. And I was wondering how they were going to work in like the marks and stuff like that. And I think they did a really good job with it. And I mean, ultimately, he is what, because of that, is kind of what brought together the Hashira training, trying to get the most out of all these people, because they know the end is coming because the demon that can walk in the sun now and all of that. So, but like part of that was they realized that they can get extra out of all these people by like training extra, caring about each other, and like whatever Tanjiro brings, like empathy, caring, love, all that stuff to the table. Like a lot of people would probably argue like his greatest attribute is his unwillingness to let the people around him die.
Yeah. Like he's always trying to like just not only kill everyone or like kill the demons or whatever, and it goes back to the empathy as well. Like when it shows the demon backstories, like that's just it's really trying to make you feel what Tanjiro is feeling as well. So we got a couple more comments. So Joshua West says he found it on Netflix. I assume he's talking about JJK.
I think both of them are on there, so he could have found either one of them.
And Nicole says it seems like the only one with a shady husband. And she says, "Don't spoil it for me." She's jumping off since I saw it.
So it's not every day I'm not the one getting shots fired at. This is nice. I like being on this side.
And it's like, oh, so that's what it's like to have someone attacking you in the comments.
Nicole, come back. We need you.
Come back and continue to troll, Nicole. But like, again, like we did watch the first episode together, but she really doesn't enjoy like watching the sub for those reasons, right? She has to read it instead of actually watching the show, and it is different characters, different people, so she doesn't enjoy that. Like the characters that she know in her head are different than the voices that are coming out on the screen. So we got Ben commenting, says, "Hey Nate, I got an anime app where people can watch for free with minimal ads." Okay, drop it in the chat.
Yeah, drop it in the chat, just so everybody knows. Not sponsored by whatever's dropped in there or anything like that. I've not seen it. I don't know what it is, but I know Ben. I played D&D with him. What up? And things like that. So check it out if you need a spot to watch it. So, but Ben, excited for some D&D tonight, dude. I don't know how we're gonna make it out alive, but it's gonna be fun.
And then Fritz says we might see a random shoe fly at Joseph, so we'll see what type of breathing he uses.
Bro, so talking about breathing forms, one of my favorite things my wife hit me with when like she first like kind of started watching Demon Slayer. We were at it was in Kentucky, Mammoth Caves, and I'm a healthy sized guy, right? And it's like it was a pretty steep walk up. I'm like dying. She's like, "Nate, it's cool. Just use water breathing second form and get up this damn mountain." And that's when I was like, I married a good one. She's a keeper.
Yeah. It's like that's when he knew.
Yeah. But so what are you hoping for the most this season from Demon Slayer? It has been slow. It will pick up. Every season follows the same trajectory, it feels like, right? Like even if you look at the entertainment arc, which was my favorite, like it was slow, and then it is just in your face. Bam, we're there. No coming back.
Yeah, no more setup. Like it's all action from here on, kind of thing. But I do want to see. I've noticed that. After the first episode, Inosuke and Zenitsu like no mention at all, right? And they mentioned his sister, like she's just asleep still, which apparently that's just a reoccurring thing. She fights and then sleeps for a long period of time, but they really haven't mentioned where Zenitsu or Inosuke's been doing like this whole time. So we know, Tanjiro's been recovering, and then he's been to the training. So I guess we can assume that they have kind of followed a similar path. Like they went through the training, and they're at one of the Hashiras getting training right now, but they've moved on past the first few. But really, just kind of curious of like where they're at and what they've been up to, really.
So, which Hashira are you the most stoked about?
I'm trying to think. Like what is the one with the snake? Like I'm really stoked about his just because like he's super mysterious, right? We haven't seen a ton of him in action, that kind of thing. I don't know what kind of training he's going to do, so it's really just more of curiosity of like how's he going to use the snake, like what exactly training he's going to give Tanjiro, like that kind of stuff. So definitely excited about that. What about you?
The Earth, the Rock, Hashira, dude, I cannot wait to see that bad mother effer in action. I have
one that's super dramatic.
I've seen that dude is like a freaking, I want to say demon, but that's not fitting because like they're killing demons, but supposedly he is insanely strong, and I cannot wait. I haven't read the manga or anything, so I don't know, but supposedly the dude is a beast, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see, because I assume it's going to happen. Like Tanjiro is going to surpass some of the Hashira, right? Like, and that's probably in the upcoming episodes. Like they kind of hinted at it a little bit in this past one, where it was 1v2 and they were fighting, and they're like, yeah, I can't wait to take on Tanjiro. It shows Tanjiro going, hit for hit with a couple of the Hashira so far. So it's like, when is he going to get to the point of surpassing them, and then what does that look like? Like, is it just something that gradually happens with this training, or is it like he just, the
dude has already defeated he's already defeated helped defeat multiple high rank demons, right? At what point do you just become a Hashira? Like if you were doing more than what some of the Hashiras have already done, because some of the Hashiras haven't fought a higher rank demon. Some of them, Rengoku, doesn't survive after fighting a higher rank demon, right? Haha, sucker. No, I'm just kidding. I like Rengoku. I'm just throwing shade for no reason. Anyways, I mean, what point does he just become? I don't understand the ranking system with it. I guess like he's already doing the things. He can clearly compete. He went toe to toe with Tengen in the training, right? He went toe to toe with Tokito in the training. I think it will happen, and his acknowledgement will come. The one that tried to kill Nezuko, the one that was like, we should just kill it. I think his training with him, because you got to think, we probably have another 2 or 3, probably more episodes of training, because you got the snake guy, you have the one dude that tried to kill Nezuko, you have the rock Hashira, you still have the the water Hashira, right? That technically saved Tanjiro at the beginning. So we still have several Hashiras to work through before, and that's if they give it time to get through all of them, but I assume they will. I don't know. But I think the one that he will see how much he has grown from their initial kind of argument, I guess.
Yeah, when he pretty much couldn't move and headbutted him. but I mean, you say that he's done what Hashiras haven't done, but there's always been a Hashira on site. Like, it's not like he's doing it by himself. And Nezuko has done a lot of the work with him. And plus Inosuke, if Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Nezuko and a Hashira hadn't been at all those places, he would have just been dead.
Well, I mean, that could be said for any of them. Look at Tengen. I mean, Tengen would have been dead if Inosuke and Zenitsu and Nezuko and Tanjiro weren't there, right?
Right. But they wouldn't have also defeated, but you're saying he's going toe for toe with Tengen. Tengen's got one eye and one arm now. He's half the person he used to be, and he can still beat.
What about Tokito then?
Felt like it.
What about Tokito?
Tokito wasn't trying his full. You could tell he's just playing around. He was smiling, laughing, and then he goes and he's all bruised up, facing the other two by himself.
That's true. Also, that was the coolest part of last episode. Them them training. I would have liked to have seen a whole fight, a whole episode of them just going at each, training with each other. I would have been cool to watch that.
Yeah. We got a comment from Fritz that says, I just hope they do not hit us with only 10 episodes. If that's the case, I'm preparing my tears. That would be tough. How would they wrap it up? They're doing so much slow setup. To have only 6 episodes left, how would that even make sense? They'd have to skip every other Hashira at this point, and that would be way too rushed. I feel like
24 episodes is solid for an anime arc season. Even with 24, it can be dragged a little bit, but I do think 10 would be way too short if they try to fit it all into 10, because you got to think you still have a couple episodes left of the Hashiras, right? That's if you condense it and put them in there. But then you have whatever the demon is, because there's going to be a demon, right? Then you have that fight, which is going to span over 3, 4, 5 episodes. That's how it's been in the past. If you think of the entertainment arc, even the freaking train, the fight with it takes a handful of episodes to get through. Dude, I really hope they don't try to fit it in 10. That would be sad. I would cry.
They would pretty much have to start the fight, the end battle next episode to be able to do that. And I mean, I guess they could, hey, they're trying to train and then they get ambushed and that's how it happens. But I think there's still a lot more setup. Like you said, I think there's at least 3 to 4 more episodes of just setup.
One thing we haven't mentioned, Joe. One thing we haven't mentioned, the little robot looking ticky-tack things in the last episode, you saw him watching the Hashira run to the training that he was going to. There was a layer. They looked like little robots. They had the Japanese symbol on them. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I think so.
I assume that's a demon, right?
I mean, potentially. I mean, or something that's working for the demons, but...
Which means they know where Tokito is. They know where he's training. So
yeah,
it might get interrupted.
I mean, that could be what they're alluding to, is that something's about to get interrupted, that kind of thing. But again, I still feel like there's still several more episodes of just setup before any kind of major action happens. Like, that's just typical to Demon Slayer in the past, which, I mean, they could change it up, right? But yeah, I'm with Fritz though. If they cap this somehow at 10 episodes, I'm like, really, you break all of our hearts with that? It'd be almost be like Game of Thrones all over again. Like, you did such an amazing job on everything, and you just botched the last season.
Well, this ain't the last season of Demon Slayer.
Well, that's what it would feel like, though, is what I'm saying. Like, if
they just rushed it, just cut out so much of the quality just to get to the end, yeah, that would suck. Dude, maybe 16. I think 16 would be a solid number. I feel like that's weird for anime, but I feel like 16 would be a solid number.
16. It's either 12 or 24, Nate. Like, there's no in between. It's 12 or 24. That's what you get.
Well, then I want 24.
Yeah.
Give me a couple fillers. Yeah. I am excited to see what comes of Nezuko, right? Like, how she deals with being in the sun. All you see from her is the interaction with Zenitsu. So I am stoked to see what all she's able to do. Also, she's able to utilize the sun. Is she going to train with the Hashiras?
I don't know. I think they're trying to just keep her hidden right now, right? Because she's such a risk for the lead guy, Michael Jackson, to come after her.
Moves in.
Yeah, but let's see. Oh, here's Fritz has a comment. So the last season was 10. That's why I brought it up. I think, was it 10 episodes? I can't remember how many the last was, but I feel like it was shorter than previous seasons.
Here we go. Let's see. Oh, mother. It's worth noting that the Hashira training arc is actually a little bit shorter than the Swordsmith Village arc in the manga, so we may get just under 11 episodes for this season as well. No! The Hashira training arc in season 4 of Demon Slayer is expected to have 7 or 8 episodes. The arc is the shortest in the manga series.
No way.
Dude, I'm just telling you what Google says, but Google also said some of the AI responses have been very sus.
Yeah, well, maybe I don't know. I guess they could leave it on a huge cliffhanger. Like, oh, the training's done. Now it's set up for whatever the next season is of the actual fight. So I guess they could do that.
If it's only 7 or 8 episodes and this is what it is, why not just make this the intro? Just combine the arcs, right? Just make this the intro for the next season. Like, make the next season 20 episodes, 24 episodes, whatever. And just throw this in there, because now we're 4 episodes in already.
Yeah, and nothing's really happened.
It's only 7 or 8. We're already halfway through the season, and nothing is even like.
It's just
hinted that it's going to happen.
This is just a setup season, I guess. Just they gave us a little bit of, and then would we have to wait an entire year for like something to actually? That would be aggravating. But yeah, I guess we shall see what happens in the upcoming weeks. I guess
what we're saying, unless there's a massive turnaround, Demon Slayer's not winning Anime of the Year award this year for me and Joe.
Right.
My Hero's taking that cake.
Yeah, My Hero definitely. But it looks like we are overtime by a few minutes. Nate, any last minute things you want to share before we hop off?
Man, join in next week. We are going. Make sure you catch up on My Hero for next week, because we are going to talk about it. It is going probably start to finish, unless something wild fucking happens on Demon Slayer. Almost all of next episode is going to be My Hero. There will be spoilers, so please make sure you're caught up. Join in, watch us. Let's talk about it. Comment. Dude, I can't wait.
Yep. Definitely same. So you guys make sure you catch up on both Demon Slayer and My Hero, and join us next week, man. See you later.
Y'all take care.